Hi there, welcome back to Let's Play. This is the third card in our card making exercise. Today you're going to get very messy. I have used lots of black gesso. You can use paint. I have used waxes. You can have a look. I have done lots of layering using old chipboards. So yeah, it's quite a nice layered glitzy card to use. I've kept my number open so that you can still see it's a card. And yeah, let me show you how I've done this. Alright, first thing we're going to do is we're going to use a playing card. We do need to sand down the card. Don't sand the corner because you still want to show your number. The reason we do this is just so that your gesso sticks a little bit better to your card. What I have done then is I have taken texture paste. We want to create a few layers of depth on our card. So I've taken my gesso and just randomly I've just scooped it up and I've literally just tapped it onto my card. You can see I've already created one for you. So I've tapped it onto my card just to create some ridges on the card. I have then taken a stencil. I've used the Celebrate stencil and very lightly with a small amount of texture paste in the bottom corner I have applied through the stencil, so it also gives you some nice texture. This here is just so that we have some extra layers on the card to give you that textured look. Alright, once I've done that, I've let my texture paste dry. It should be nice and dry. You can use your heat gun, but preferably let it dry properly. Then I have taken my black gesso. I managed to get a nice big bottle of black gesso. You can use acrylic paint or chalk paint as well. Black gesso does work quite well though. And then what I've done with my paintbrush is I've dipped it in my gesso and I have covered the entire card. You can have a look and see here now how the textures have come up. So literally just painting it. Keep your number open because we still want to see your number. And then yes, let that dry. So once that is nice and dry, you can actually see how in the light there you can see how all the textures have now come out. So that is the first layer of your texturizing of your card. What we are going to do then is we are now going to play with all your leftover chipboard that you've got. We've often got all these little random pieces that we don't know what to do with. So we are now going to create all these pretty layers. The more funky, like leaves and swirls and all funny little shaped objects that you can find, the better. It gives you a really nice finish. So what I have done is I have just used normal Tombow and I have then cut up elements, placed them, and you're not going to have to see the word. You can just cut up because you just want little pieces sticking through. And you are going to layer these using Tombow. Try to make sure that things don't drop, so you can put little pieces of cardboard underneath so that you have everything is on the same level. Okay, you're going to stick that, as I said, with Tombow. Let it dry for quite a while. Make sure that nothing is moving. And then once that is all dry, I'm going to just move this off screen for the moment. You are then going to take your black gesso once again with a paintbrush and you're going to paint over it so that you end up with all of these pieces. Okay, you can see here still I didn't get to all the pieces, but you try and cover it as much as you possibly can with your paint. So we're going to paint in between all the little pieces, get in everywhere, and you can see now how everything pops up on the card. So it gives you all those beautiful layers, and the more funky you go with your chipboard, the better. This looks really cool when you do a layout or mixed media, a frame or a object for your table. You can use all your bigger pieces then, so it actually looks really cool. Okay, once that is dry, we can now work with this card. We are now going to play with our waxes. I absolutely love the Prima ones. They are quite affordable. I'm sure that the suppliers will be getting stock again soon. And these are my two favorite colors. I like the gold and I like the green. You do get a blue. There's actually quite a few colors that you get. You can see this one hasn't been used much. And what we are going to do is I actually just use my finger. And you are then going to color in over all your elements. Now this is where the magic happens. You can actually see where we have done our texturizing And this here was our stencil at the bottom. Okay, I covered quite a bit of it, but on this one you can see a little bit more of the stencil work that I actually done. Alright, so starting off with our finger, I have then moved on to a paintbrush just to get into the corners. You don't have to cover everything, but it does actually, you can check where all the pieces are now peeking through your card. Alright, and you can just go around the edges a little bit. And then for a bit of contrast, I've added a bit of green, so that one you can just go over. You can also use a wet wipe. I know some ladies use a wet wipe, they use cotton buds. Oh, you can use anything you like, just literally to apply it. It's just to get the effect that you're looking for. I love the texture paste at the bottom because it does bring out all that nice wrinkles on your page. Alright, and then once we've done that, all we need to do now is to literally decorate it. So I have used some flowers from Penelope D just to adhere that. Again, I have used, just to bring in a little bit of color, I've colored it with my gold metallic wax, which I have added, and then I have added a word. So just to curl your word, curl it one way, curl it the other, and when you adhere it, you've got a nice swirly curly word underneath your flower. You can also add, as you can see over here, I have added a little bit of gauze again, which I just tore and just tucked in underneath. It's just your normal medical gauze, nothing fancy. So that actually just gives you a nice pretty layer underneath your card. Alright, if you have a look here, you'll see my card is a little bit shiny. So what I've done there was, when I've done my layer of the black on the card, I actually, while it was wet, I then went and took glitter, just normal glitter, and I sprinkled it over it, and then I heat set, because then the glitter actually sticks into the gesso and it makes it nice and shiny. So you can see over there, that depends if you want the shiny option, but it does actually look quite pretty. So remember to do that while your gesso is wet. You can just throw it over, sprinkle it and tap it off, and that is before you put on your top layers. So that's your in-between layer that you do. All right. And then, yes, I think that is pretty much it for your card. So that is what it looks like when you are done. And I hope you enjoyed that. I hope it made sense to you. Sorry, I've done this video about 6 times already. So I hope this one came out all right. Thank you, girls. Hope you enjoyed, and I can't wait to see your creations. Remember to post them under the photo post and not the video post. Thank you. Bye.